Hello, everyone, and welcome to NatFun, a live-recorded tabletop role-playing adventure game where the dice and a few friends tell the story. My name is Jackie, and I'm your game master tonight, and I'm joined by a few friends. So let's roll into some introductions.
Introduction. My name's Jeremy, and I'll be playing Raislin.
My name's Dan, and I'll be playing Eldrin.
My name is Erin, and I will be playing Edwina.
Now, before we get started, we do have some shout-outs. After each session, the players write down shout-outs to each other on our Adventure Google Doc to highlight fun stuff that everyone did in-game. It's a great way to support each other, mention cool character moments, and of course, earn GM inspiration. We're going to use a spinner app today, and to pick and feature a couple shout-outs live, the first one will grant the recipient GM inspiration, and the second will grant the person who posted it GM inspiration. And our first number of the night is an 8.
Awesome. So this is from me to Jeremy/Raislin. And I just really appreciated that no matter the danger that stood in front of you, you held your ground and fought despite going down. So I just really admired the way that you continued to play Raislin and never gave up. It was like, I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Danger's my middle name, baby.
Sure it's not Chumbawamba?
It's his middle name.
I'm going to step in here and say that is a whole lot of shout-outs. That is way more than we normally have. I'm proud of you guys. But thank you.
You guys did awesome last session. You deserve it. Thank you, Erin. The next number is an 11.
This is to Erin/Edwina from Eldrin/Dan. And the plan to sprint around the dragon and try to draw its attention back away from Eldrin, I just envisioned Eldrin being there in the moment with the 2 dragon heads right at him, and then you just circling around, taunting it, and being like, this is the last thing Eldrin's going to see before he dies, is Edwina taunting the dragon before it consumes him. So that was a very funny mental image for me when you described what you were up to.
It's like, I'm going to stay out of range. It's not going to get me. It's not going to bite me, but I want it to focus on me. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that moment where I was like, how close do you run to that creature, Edwina?
10 feet.
10, 15 feet. No, that was very creative. All right, so that is a point of GM inspiration to Jeremy/Raislin and Dan/Eldrin. And the reason why there's some extra shout outs here is I wanted to make sure that everybody got a little something because you guys gave me a GM inspiration. So I added one for each of you as well. So whoever got left out didn't. So this is from the GM to Erin/Edwina. Shout out for narratively asking for and rolling with a nat 1 miss against the dragon. Technically this is episode 18, but I loved it so much I put it here. Resulting in a massive cave-in and phase 2 of the fight. Awesome way to let the dice tell the story and seriously lean into it and make it bigger and better than what was happening. That was awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I just liked it when you were like, can I just have it hit the ground and impact it real hard? I was like, yeah, that can happen.
Definitely. Let me introduce you to map part 2.
Ta-da! So that is GM inspiration for everyone.
I feel like Jackie may have been hoping or looking for a way to make that ground collapse. And when you said that, she was just like, hell yeah. And there it is.
Now I don't have to make the dragon stomp its little feet and get all mad and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had been describing the ground shaking and sinking, and it was going that direction. And now we have a brief synopsis. In our last episode of When Thunder Rolls, the Ska Squad overcame insurmountable odds against an arcane forged dragon monstrosity. Through their relentless rage, Unwavering faith, refusal to take the fight lying down, a mighty boon, and a well-struck final blow, they felled the unnatural beast alongside a large horde of voices. As the chamber began to crumble around them, the voice spoke, offering aid and an escape from certain death. In an exchange for balance, the brood of voices burrowed to the surface with the Ska Squad along for the ride. After a short rest, it was clear the agonizing, smoldering wounds sustained in the battle could not be healed at the hands of the party. A swift return to Estrante and the Dayrune Temple was their first order of business. And what better way to travel than by telepathically linked griffins? The sunset beckoned once they reached the temple. Although multiple castings of Greater Restoration could heal their smoldering wounds, it couldn't lessen their burning rage towards Sir Archival Magistrate. That was more complicated. With the Grand Manor only a short walk away, the Ska Squad made haste and arrived to greet Lord Francis Indario, overseeing the removal and recommissioning of his grandiose statue. Frustrated by the lack of progress on his end and empowered by the passionate gaze of his muse, he was inspired to become a man of action and wait no longer to confront Sam head-on. Clutching Edwina's hand and followed by many heavily armored guards, they set off to the research wing. They stormed in, and Francis called out to Sam, who was seated at his desk. No response. He did not even look up from his work. Edwina thundered towards the desk and drew Breaker's beak in a threatening challenge. He still did not respond. Lord Francis walked to him in a lively manner, but as he grabbed Sam's shoulder to demand a response, he felt a slight pressure across his shin, and everyone heard the faint sound of a string snapping. It is this moment we rejoin our adventurers as you hear a string being pressed to the edges of its capacity and boop, snapping. You now hear the sound of stones shifting around you. One might even say you hear the sound of a stone brick being pushed about 4 inches into a stone wall. And all of you, except Edwina, your passive perception is awful, notice a stone mouth start to appear and shape out of the wall just past Sam's desk near the very top along the edge of the ceiling and the wall. Good Lord, Jeremy. I can't do anything narratively cool. I will give you, any of you that are noticing this, a brief moment to react before I describe further if you would like, or you can just wait because you know I have epic things.
So I just want to throw out there, I do still have danger sense, which is if it's a trap, I have a save advantage on my dex save against that. But if it is a trap, I want to bargain with you, GM, to give up my advantage to protect Francis. So I would take the full effects, no save, but I would put myself in front of him so that he does not feel it.
Heard and considered.
Eldrin will go ahead and drop his arm blade. I assume he is not first in line towards Sam, that he'd be towards the back of the group because he wasn't as motivated as the others, if that makes a difference for positioning.
The way that you guys described it last session, if I remember right, is that you opened the doors, you kind of all stepped in, like sitcom style. It is double doors, so like all 4 of you could just walk in a horizontal line, and then Lord Indario called out, no response. Edwina charged over to the desk, pulled out Breaker's beak, threatened Sam, still no response. So Lord Indario stomped over himself, grabbed his shoulder, but as he did that, the string snapped. So I would assume that Eldrin and Raceland are kind of standing in the doorway with Edgar in the background.
Raceland is going to pull out his short sword. It's average. And get ready for whatever might be going down. I did not.
If we
mean
have
it
to
that
change
way.
the rating of the podcast, it's just going to be because of you, Jeremy. I just want you to know, if that's been the angle this whole time, you've succeeded, okay?
Often I say things without realizing how they're gonna come out.
Where's my filter?
So, Eldrin, you drop your arm blade, Faust's blade. Raceland, you pull out your short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Andario looks up. Edwina, you hear a sound, but you don't really know where it's coming from. But everyone else sees up here on the wall.
Poor Edwina.
Yeah, well, what's your passive perception?
A mighty 9.
Yeah, so, my hands are tied.
It's fine.
You'll figure it out in a second. You watch as the stonework of the wall itself seems to shape and twist and augment into the form of a large mouth, a pair of lips, and it begins to speak. Oh no, you found me out, and all of my research. I'm a brilliant man. You really think I'd leave all of my notes and... The mouth stops speaking. You hear stone rubbing on stone again. A few feet away, another mouth emerges. Papers for you? How contrite. Fooled by the likes of a simple apprentice. I'm sure you've already found the body of my master, Sam. Speaking, the mouth stops moving, the speaking stops. And at this point, Edwina, roll a perception check for me.
Just to see if she even heard the voice.
Well, she hears the voice, she just has no idea where it's coming from. And that's a 5.
Did you guys hear something?
Where's that coming from?
So, Edwina, you're looking frantically around trying to see the source of this. Everyone else, when they hear that message about Sam, they look at Sam as Lord Andario lifts his hand to reveal a dagger sunk firmly and all the way up to the hilt in Sam's back.
Well.
More stone. What a buffoon. You can be smart but have no common sense. It's almost as easy to strengthen and encourage the ego and... Another stone mouth appears. Bravado in someone who has none, as it is in someone who has a pompadour and too much. The order cannot be snuffed out. It... Pause. And continuing around the room in a circular pattern, another mouth appears. Only takes one small foothold. A spoiled brat with too much money and not enough common sense. A lonely duchess left to the sidelines of male political ambitions. And who knows, even a hero of hubris can be easily turned. We've risen before, gaining more strength with each trial. And... Another one appears. We will rise again. Oh, and before you get too excited, that parchment you see before you are all works of fiction. I heard about... Another mouth appears. At this point, Edwina, I would say that you've caught on.
She's like, eyes have been following like in a very lagging way. It's like she's like glitching. What is everybody looking at? Oh my god. Oh, no, it's gone. It's over here now.
The insights Lord Andario had gained and his heroic Ska Squad. If it weren't for them, I would have silenced that girl too. No matter. Another mouth appears. Though, I could see the writing on the wall. And even though I did have to leave quickly, I released all of our outstanding research. Another mouth appears. Subjects? I have to keep you busy while I leave, yes? And don't worry. Not all of our work was for naught. or I have created. Another mouth appears. At this point, they've gone completely around the room. It's over the doorway you came in. A strong ally. And you hear a loud rumbling moan as the talking continues. Ah, and you might smell smoke just about now. If I can have everyone roll a perception check for me.
That's a 9 for Edwina.
Going strong.
It's a 18 for Raceland.
Eldrin rolls a 15 with his disadvantage.
Everyone but Edwina
Of course.
can smell smoke. And you can see smoke starting to come up from that spiral staircase that went down below this room. I had to take care of all that erroneous paperwork. I'm sure Nessie, another mouth appears, is frantically searching for. If you don't wish to die in a blaze of glory, I suggest you leave. And the last mouth kind of gets grainy and sounds fizzled. Then all the sound stops. Stone mouths are not moving. And then suddenly they all break off the walls, fall, but before striking the ground where they should shatter and make sound, they disappear when they strike the floor.
Raceland's gonna look around the room and kind of shout out to the void, "Is this Rodney? 'Cause I got a kid named Stanner that you should meet, and I think the two of you would get along well. I know he's impressed with all of your work. I don't think anyone else is." Then he's gonna look at the other two and go, "I think we should get out of here."
Why? There's still so much to search.
Well, if the place is getting ready to go up in flames...
Flames? Is that what
Oh,
you
yeah,
think he
I
meant?
forgot. She doesn't, Yeah, he lit fire to some papers down below us, I believe.
Oh. Oh, no. Yeah, we better get her out of here.
I smell smoke. There's nothing I need down there. He said he took everything of value or importance anyway. I'd say get out of here.
Lord Andario quickly looks over to the guards. Fire! Get the brigade! Edwina, I'll save you! And he reaches his hand out towards you.
All due respect, Francis, I think we'll save each other. And she'll grab his hand and start, pulling him towards the door.
Dina.
You are able to walk to the doorway. Are you guys staying or are you going?
Eldrin's heading out the door.
Throw that bird back in there.
What'd you say, Jeremy?
I'm gonna grab that bird and throw him back in the room. Yeah, we're leaving.
Well, wait, no, Edgar
right.
was Sam's bird. And Sam is dead, so maybe he wasn't the bad guy after all. Also, I'm really upset that I didn't get to kill that guy.
Sam was a little sassier than, or Edgar was a little sassier than he had any right to be.
Fair. All right, you can barbecue him.
As you open the door to leave the chamber, the smoke has been growing thicker and thicker, and it starts to come out into the hallway. And Edgar's caws, his crowing, goes from just kind of annoying background noise to panicked, and he takes off down the hallway to save his own skin. Guards come running in, two of them holler back, and you can hear more armor headed this way. You are able to leave the chamber, go down the hallway, and head up the stairs to the Grand Manor.
Francis, if it wasn't Sam, then who? Those mouths? What is that about?
I don't know.
It's a match made in heaven. I'm thinking it was Rodney since he mentioned being fooled by an apprentice.
Rodney.
Yeah, he's a little half-elf boy.
Rodney is the only person missing from the research program. That apprentice.
Gasp. I think it was him.
You have any tracking dogs we could send out after him? Tracking any kind of creature?
I mean, I've got a dog. I just don't know if he can track.
One way to find out.
Fluffy, you up to it? No, he's pretty tired.
Falls flat on the floor, doesn't move.
What about DRB? Snoop DRB on the case. At this point, I'm starting to wish I had remembered to bring Kodo with me.
I need to go alert the council.
Do you have any idea where this Rodney may have gone? Any relatives? Anything?
I don't know anything about him. I can ask the council or Nessie. I must let them know what's going on.
Great. And about our payment for slaying that dragon.
What? A dragon?
Yes. And just like his chimera friend, he regrew heads throughout the process of removing him.
Oh, do tell me what. No, not now, Eldrin. I must go tell the council. I am being responsible. I will speak with you another time.
We can wait.
Edwina, I must go. I have urgent matters to attend to.
She'll squeeze his hand, but let him go.
And he takes off and kind of leaves his hand out as he runs away and just looks at Edwina as he's running and almost trips and falls over his feet, but goes up the stairs of the rounded grand entrance up to his study.
The only person I can think of who might know where Rodney is Alondra. Maybe we find her and, people talk shop after work, right? They go to the inn, they get a drink, they complain about their boss. Maybe he slipped up. Maybe he told her something important.
As good as lead as any.
Fisher may also know a little bit about this.
All right, that's settled. Eldrin and I will go to the temple. We'll find Alondra. We'll send Kodo your way, Raceland, and you look for Fisher. 3, 2, 1, Ska Squad.
Ska Squad.
Ska Squad.
Raceland, do you know where Fisher is, where you can meet him, or are you going to have to look for him?
Well, he owns the tavern, so if he's not there, they should know roughly where he is.
All right. Well, we don't have to split up if you want to swing by both. The tavern's on the way.
I think it might be faster to split it up and we can meet in the middle afterwards. And I also know some people who might talk to me but not talk to you two.
All right. I'll go with Edwina. We can meet you back at the, I don't know, where do you want to meet back at?
Well, why don't we plan on meeting back at the tavern, and if I get done, I'll start headed towards the temple, and worst case scenario, we meet halfway.
All right.
Sounds good. Edwina's going to reach down and grab Eldrin's hand, and she is going to start pulling him out the door.
All right. Fine, let's go.
And Raceland is going to start headed towards the tavern.
All right, you're able to leave the Grand Manor unimpeded, walk through the Grand District, through the town. Eldrin and Edwina arrive at the temple first, because that's the earliest structure, and then Raceland, you round the corner, you head to the tavern. It doesn't take more than a minute or two for you to make it to the tavern. So we will do Eldrin and Edwina first, because you guys would have arrived at your destination first. You walk up, you see the temple. You don't hear any service going on inside.
We'll just head on, straight on in.
Yep, Edwina is going to she's not messing around. She just calls out for Alondra. Alondra, Alondra!
You walk into the temple, and you don't see anyone in the temple. Again, there's no service going on. There's no one praying. But as you call out,
Alondra!
it echoes in the large space. And you call out 3-4 times, and then a familiar figure walks out from one of the side chambers in the temple. Male humanoid form, fairly tall, about the same size as Edwina, gray robes, deep midnight blue dreadlocks, teeth poking out of that lower lip just a little bit. Ah, Eddie and Eldrin.
Conduit.
I didn't expect you back so soon. May I be of assistance?
We're looking for Alondra. We believe she may know where Rodney is.
I don't know who Rodney is, but I hear a sense of urgency in your voice. She was feeling better. She went back to her tent in the refugee camp. Let's go. You walk around the temple. Are you following Eldrin, or are you just going to steal
I was gonna say,
pews, books?
Anything that's not bolted down.
Anything silver.
I have that handy haversack. How much can I fit in this thing? No.
8 cubic feet.
Nickel. You walk around the temple, and you get to the refugee camp. And again, it's these large tents. Most of them have kind of a wooden foundation, a front little porch, so they've kind of been made into a permanent structure, but not out of permanent materials. And you see that there's a group of people around the fire in that central courtyard where you remember slaying a whole mess of rats. And you see Alondra sitting there speaking with some other people.
Alondra. And Edwina's going to go up to her and gently put her hand on her shoulder. We need to find Rodney. Right now, it's a matter of life and death.
Rodney?
Yes, the assistant you worked with. The one who was mad at you for dropping the box. That guy.
Oh, I don't know where he lives.
Okay, do you have anything that he's ever given you? A book, a handkerchief, anything?
No. He was always just stuck up and invested in his work and either stroking the ego of Sam or asking him to do things. It was kind of an odd relationship for an apprentice, to be honest.
He's the one who made an attempt on your life.
Sir Archival Magistrate? I know that he was mad at me for showing up late, but that seems a little bit extreme.
No, it was Rodney.
No.
He was running everything from behind Sir Archibald Magistrate. He's disappeared with the research he has, and he said that he apparently released all the research, and I assume that means any of those creatures you had locked up there may now be free in the area.
That's not good. I must report to Sir Archival Magistrate right away.
Alondra?
Yeah?
And Edwina's going to slowly shake her head. Sir Archival Magistrate can't help anymore.
Why?
He is no longer alive.
Okay. I need to stay calm. I need to channel my energy. And you hear the conduit, yes, channel your energy into good. Channel my energy into good. See the world around me. See the world around you. Okay. I need to get some papers from my tent, and I must speak with someone at the Grand Manor. Ezra, can you come with me?
Wait, Alondra? And Edwina's going to take off her grand armor armband and give it to her. I don't know if she needs it, but...
Oh, thank you. I think that I'll get in, but he would definitely need it. Thank you. And she reaches out and kind of puts her hand on your forearm, and she hands it to the conduit. Okay, I have some papers. If Sir Archival Magistrate is no longer with us, who is it safe for me to talk to?
Francis, only Francis.
Okay, let's go find Francis. And she and the conduit walk back to one of the tents, about 4 tents back, and she heads inside.
Should I go meet with Raceland?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll turn and head towards the tavern.
And while that was going on, Raceland, you walk into the tavern.
Meanwhile, back at the bank.
Exactly. Hey there, I just wanted to take a brief break from our adventure to thank you for listening. Thank you so much. It's the listeners that have really helped us grow and make NatFun become what it is right now, and we want to be even more. We want to reach more people and encourage more people to play TTRPGs because they've helped all of us in our real lives as well. And we think it could be the same for you. So if you have a spare moment, would you mind dropping a rating or review about our podcast on whatever listening platform you use? Or give us a share on social media, tell a friend, help us get out there so more people can hear it. We're a growing show and every listener counts. We really appreciate it, and it just takes a few seconds. Just like this request did. So with that, let's get back to the adventure. You see there's a few people sitting down, or seated down, depends on what you want to say. And you see a familiar barmaid behind the counter and a hooded figure in the table in the back corner.
Raceland is going to head straight for the hooded figure in the back corner.
You walk up to him, and with a big old nice steak and potatoes dinner is your friend, Fisher.
Raceland is going to pull up a chair at the table and sit down without any real, greeting or salutation and say, "Look, buddy, I need to find out about this kid named Rodney that's a half-elf. He was working at the manor there, and he has a blue cap that sometimes glows. I don't know. I need to know where he lives. I don't know much else about him. Can you find out anything? I know that we have connections through other less savory types. Messengers, caravan masters, seedy sailors, if you will. I need you to find out about this kid, and I need you to do it, right now."
Good to see you too, Raceland. I can do my best, but I myself right now don't know of a Rodney. And as we've discussed before, if it's something within the Grand District, I don't know how much useful information I'm going to acquire for you.
Somebody will have some information. Somebody's seen him, someone knows who he is, where he lives, or they know someone who does.
As you're talking, he has a small scrap of parchment he's writing on it. He rolls it up and just sets it on the corner of the table.
If it's any motivation, this kid was controlling an individual who those crates you sent us after were going to. So, if you really want to find out what's going on with them, this kid was the end of the line for those crates.
I do want to find out what's going on with those crates. Did you see anything else? Any distinction exactly where did it get delivered? Were there any marks or notes or stamps or seals? Any way to know where it came from?
Nothing that I could see, but it was delivered to the back of the Grand Manor and somehow through a wall that had a 4-inch deep hole in it.
That's interesting. There were no marks on the crates, any cloths, any symbols, sigils, nothing. You hear the sound of the GM winking through the microphone.
I'm looking through my notes here.
I think technically Raceland didn't see the symbol because he was made, but your fellow party members shared it with you.
We all Eldrin showed all of us after we left the chamber.
Oh, is that the one that kind of looks like the sunflower?
Yep.
Or is it the one that... Which one is it? God damn it.
It's
That was
the
on the delivery fabric,
Okay.
and that was on the crate.
Okay.
so the one that looks like a triton and a tree was on the fabric, and then the one that looked like
fabric.
a eyelash and then a matching like smile underneath with 5 lines on it was on the crate.
So, Raceland is going to grab that piece of parchment paper that he's writing on.
Oh, he's already rolled it up, and when you go to reach for it, he covers it with his hand.
Well. Are we keeping some secrets, even from me, Fisher?
And as you say that, the barmaid that you've come to know and love, the old woman, Fisher's mom, walks up, grabs the paper, and says, "Right away, love." And she leans down, kisses Fisher, and takes it away. That's me going good on what you've asked me to do. Do you need something to write on, Raceland?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I thought you were going to say that the old lady walked up and shivved me in the back or something. Game
Hold
over.
on, I'm going to write a note for our next adventure. He grabs a piece of parchment out of his breast pocket, and he gives it to you and slides the quill over.
As she shivs me, she's like, "It was me all along."
You didn't come to my crochet class.
Stabs him with a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook.
Pulls out his brain through his nose. Eldrin,
Always use a doily. Sorry.
Raceland is going to take the paper, draw out the symbols, and say, "This one here, that sort of looks like eyelashes," and then the reverse image, close to at least, the reverse image of that was on this was on the crate, and then he's gonna draw out the other symbol that sort of looks like a little bit like a sunflower and say this was on the crate. And I don't know if that's going to be helpful, especially now that your mom has walked away with the piece of paper.
The whole time you're drawing, he kind of is stroking his chin and hunched over and looking at what you're doing. He takes his other hand and kind of rubs his forehead, and then the moment you're done, he quickly reaches over and spins the piece of paper around to face himself. He says, "I've seen this before, Raceland. Well, something like it. The last job I did for the family before I decided I had to buy my way out. It was for a group that we never learned the name of from the family, but we had to collect subjects for them. I assumed it was creatures, as was my strength set. Turns out the subjects weren't creatures. They were people. From an apothecary. They had strange scars on their bodies and seemed disconnected from the world in a terrifying way. Like they had been experimented on or toyed with. I did a bit of digging. All I ever found was one word. Order. This order had been experimenting on creatures and people, combining them to dastardly ends. They were rooted out and fled. It's been at least 20 years since anyone has heard of them, to my knowledge. I would have never expected this here in Astrante, of all places. I must reach out to my other contacts on the continent."
The kid did mention the order.
This may not be an isolated incident.
How much time do you think you need to get more information about this?
As much time as it takes a raven to fly, across the continent and back. It's not going to be quick, but I'll see what I can do. Can you describe this person to me a bit more, this Rodney?
All I can really tell you about him is that he's a short, half-elf kid that, when we saw him, had a cap on, although he may not anymore. And he had a blue stone in that cap that allowed him to, I think, do certain things that you couldn't do without the blue stone, like maybe pass through walls.
And as you say that, Eldrin and Edwina come through the door. Eldrin notices you at the back table. Edwina, not so much.
Don't even roll for
Sorry.
it.
Eldrin.
It's a 9.
Eldrin will scan across the room. See Raceland. He'll tell Edwina. He's over there. Let's see what he's found out. Hopefully he's had more luck. I just walk towards that back table. When it gets there, I say, Raceland, we didn't find much on our end. Have you found anything?
Edwina shakes her head.
Not much, not yet anyway. Do you have any better description of Rodney than being a half-elf boy with a cap? That's a fairly vague one.
He was impolite.
Yeah, he didn't treat Alondra very well, and he didn't talk to Sam very well either. He just seemed weird.
He's definitely cocky and thinks himself better than anyone else, so I assume if you come across him, he'll maintain that.
Are these friends of yours, Raceland, or should I leave?
Oh, we're his friends. Edwina's going to hold out her hand. I'm Edwina. This is Eldrin. We're the Ska Squad.
Ska Squad.
They are friends of mine. We're looking for the same person, and anything that you want to tell me, you can tell them in regards to this situation.
Don't know much but those symbols you showed me, Raceland. They're the mark of the Order. And they're not something that just a couple of people tangle with. This is big. This is entire hidden societies. I'll start to see what I can find out, but this isn't a battle you rush into unknowing. I've seen what these people do. I still see it in my nightmares, even to this day.
Well, I guess we'll come to that or cross that bridge when we come to it. We have our own hidden society called the Scaminati.
Unless you have any more details for me, I'd like to get work on this right away.
Yeah, find out what you can and get back to us. You know how to reach me.
He stands up, looks over at the bar. Mom, rooms, food, ale, whatever they need. It's on me. And he heads to the back and out the doors in the back of the building.
Well,
Eldrin's gonna ask for a cup of coffee real quick. It's been a long day.
Right away, dearie. Pick any other table in the establishment if you don't mind. Anything else for the rest of you?
coffee as well, please. Thank you, ma'am.
I'll just have some ale.
Right away. Do you need anything for Kodo?
I think he's okay for now. I'm not sure how long we're going to be stationary.
I'll be right back with those coffees and ale. Heads back to the kitchen. A few minutes go by, and she comes out with some coffee, some ale, bread, cheese, a little bit of meat. Just a nice little sampler platter. You looked hungry.
Thank you, ma'am. Edwina's going to take a doily off of the tray, set it down, and then grab her cup of coffee and put it on top.
Nice.
And you watch as she kind of like does a little mini clap with her hands like, ooh.
Eldred's gonna pick this coffee off the table that he just put it on there and then do the same.
I guess Raceland will do the same with his ale. But he's also wondering if Edwina's passive perception would have picked up that there were doilies on the tray in the first place.
That's fair.
Well, okay, so we've been here like 4 times, and every single time...
I would say it's established at this point.
There's been a doily on there, and every single time Edwina's missed it. But she's noticed that every single time the barmaid comes by and like picks up whatever it is and then puts a doily or coaster underneath. So she's...
Gives you the stank eye.
It takes 4 times, but she's learned. Edwina can be taught.
So at this point, the hour is fairly late. You guys kind of came into town just before dinner time, like 6 o'clock-ish. The sun at this point is setting. It's late in the day. You're still fairly beaten up, exhausted. Fisher's running out to try and get some more information. Lord Indario is working with the council and his own guards to quell any situations at the manor.
Raceland is going to suggest eating quickly and going to bed so that we can get a long rest before anything else decides to kick off here.
Eldrin will eat. It turns out he's hungrier than he thought he was. And while he's eating, he's going to talk to the others and say, you know, this all sounds like not our problem.
Eldrin,
This whole secret society, I don't see any reason to get all tangled up in this. We can just move on from this city to another. It doesn't directly affect us.
But it affects...
I mean, at this
We've
point...
seen what they're capable of.
But it affects Francis. And...
Well, it's been rooted out from this town, at least. And Francis should be safe.
whatever research was released, these people, they don't deserve it. Whatever horrors that Rodney came up with Sam's help or Sam's research, they don't deserve to meet that fate. Do you think Alondra should face a dragon like we did? Or a chimera?
I don't think I should have faced a dragon like we did.
No, and that's the point. No one should. No one should be subject to that unless they go out and seek it for themselves for whatever glory we adventurers try to claim. We have a responsibility. We have the skills to protect these people.
I'm just cleaning up someone else's mess. Francis allowed this to happen all under his own watch.
Even great men need an education. Even great men need to fail sometimes in order to learn. And if they can't be taught, they were never great in the first place.
Yeah. It's good he's changed his ways, but he's got a huge mess, it sounds like, to clean up around here.
Maybe. But I'll make sure he doesn't do it alone.
Elgin will get up and head off to bed.
Barmaid hands you your key. You head upstairs.
Raistlin has been listening to this conversation and thinking that Eldrin actually has some pretty good points here.
He comes back downstairs. No.
At the same time, Edwina does. Also, the problem is that Lord Indario may or may not want help or want to compensate for that help. And while I understand Edwina is probably going to be moving into this castle, some of us are not. And need to be able to have a roof over our heads.
I'll make sure you're on the payroll.
Possibly a doghouse.
Well, Raceland, are you going to bed?
I don't think there's anything else to do right now.
Okay.
It's like you propositioned her. I mean, is there anything else to do?
Except for go to bed.
No,
Well, that was not the intention. But, yeah, Raceland's gonna head upstairs. Hey, look. So far, Edwina has been all about Roland and all about Eldrin and in love with Lord Andario. I don't need to add to any confusion.
Don't make it complicated.
Exactly, because I don't want to get hit.
So as Raceland goes upstairs, Edwina is first going to finish her coffee, and then if there's anything left in Eldrin's mug, she's going to drink that too. And then, GM, I would like to use the remainder of my hit dice as like a short rest.
Sounds good.
So that is going to be 5. Oh, God, math. Why did it have to be math?
41.
I mean, show off, but okay.
Just watch it's wrong.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong. We can check later. All right,
For
so that
the listeners, that's 2 5s, a 14, an 8, and a 9. And that is, in fact, a 41.
yeah, I was gonna say, let us know in the comments.
Do math at home.
Hey, let us know if you can do math better quickly than we can.
Aaron cannot. It is not a superpower. We're gonna use this moment, drinking coffee, conversation, take a short rest, and then I would like to go and visit my griffin.
Okay. How do you do that?
Edwina is going to step out in front of the tavern, and she is going to hold out her armband, and she's just gonna kind of flick her wrist, and she's gonna think, I need you.
You flick your wrist. You look down. You flick your wrist again. And you look down again. And you watch as it sparks for a fraction of a second. And then fades. Nothing comes.
This is some bullshit. That's what this is.
Piece of crap.
You told it to fly and be free. They have a flight speed. It's based on range. It did the thing you said.
I mean, that's not unfair. It's just, you know, I would hope that they would be like within like distance, you know, like, oh, like I should be flying free, but within a circular pattern. No.
I assumed you told it fly, be free, go be you, and it's bounced.
Forever? I didn't mean forever.
That's what it interpreted.
Oh, shoot.
You didn't give it a curfew.
But I'm its master.
Not anymore.
I guess not. Edwina's going to hold up her wrist, and she's just going to think, when you want to, return to me. And then she's going to turn, head back inside the tavern, reach for the key from the barmaid, go upstairs, and go to bed.
Okay. You all fall, some more exhausted than others, into your bed and achieve a very plush, comfortable, revitalizing long rest.
Yay.
In the morning, you wake up to the smell of bacon, eggs, a little bit of hustle and bustle downstairs.
Raceland is going to come downstairs with Kodo, pull up a chair at a table, and kind of wave for the lady of the house.
You're able to go downstairs, get some food ordered, and as soon as you guys start to walk down the stairs, whoever comes down first, you see an armored guard, very, very young, got some pimples on his face. Are you part of the Ska Squad?
Ska Squad. This guy. Yes. Yes, I am. What can I do for you?
Lord and Dario wanted to see the whole Ska Squad.
And Raceland is going to kind of do a little snap and point towards the stairs, and Coda's gonna take off to scratch at the doors of the others to wake them up and bring them down. Any idea why Lord Ondario wants to see us?
Nope.
Edwina comes down the stairs.
Okay. Not much help there, are you, buddy? With Edwina coming down the stairs, Raceland is going to turn to her and say, "Your baby has requested our presence."
I have a baby?
Well, you called him baby.
Oh, Francis. Oh, yeah.
That'd be the one.
My honey bun, pumpkin pie, pudding, the sparkle in my eye.
Okay, I'll tell him you're coming. And he turns and he walks out.
Eldrin will be down shortly after as well. He was up early, just kind of packing things up and getting ready, I think, to move on.
Putting everything that's not nailed down into that haversack.
Gotta make a living somehow. So he'll come downstairs and see Raceland and Edwina. Say what's going on.
We're going up to the Grand Manor. Grab something to eat on the road. We're heading out now.
Sounds good. Hopefully we'll be getting paid.
You're able to grab some bread, cheese, a little handful of bacon, fistful of bacon. Who doesn't want a fistful of bacon
I do
in the
love
morning?
a good fistful of bacon.
And you head through town, make it through the gates to the Grand Manor. So, Edwina, even though you don't have your armband, you're on the list.
Yeah, I am.
You know she's on the list.
Make it through the Grand District. You arrive at the Grand Manor, and you see Beatrice talking to the dwarves that have been working on dismantling this large statue. Ah, Lord Ondario wants to see you all right away. Yes, yes?
Yes, yes.
Great. Up in his office?
Yes, please.
All right. Eldrin will head right up those stairs.
Raceland is coming right behind him.
Edwina's right there as well.
You walk in, and it is a hustle and bustle of people. What had been before kind of like a war room, this is a disheveled war room. Everyone's looking exhausted. They're starting to talk in raised voices here and there. And you see Lord Ondario speaking with Nessie and Alondra and the conduit all around a big table.
You called for us?
Ah, yes, my Skull Squad. Come.
Skull Squad. Edwina's gonna come and stand next to him. Kind of look over his shoulder at what he's like maybe pointing at the table.
He kind of leans his hands on the table, and he's like pointing at different piles of papers as he's talking. He says, "Okay. We were able to get the fire out. Everyone is safe. There were no creatures or people down there. We're still digging through paperwork, but nothing makes sense from what we found. The only person missing from the research program is Rodney, as you said, the apprentice," and Alondra nods. "He released all of the subjects," she nods again, "before he fled. Who knows if it was an act of compassion to save them from the fire or a final act of chaos for a deranged mind." And he kind of furrows his brow and rubs his forehead with his fingertips for a brief moment.
Eldrin's going to say, my money's on the chaos.
And he sighs, "Mine too. There is more reading to be done in Daddy's journals, but Alondra and I would like to make a full accounting, or a census, if you will, of all the protected refugees and creatures within our borders. We need to know what could be out there, what needs protecting. Everyone deserves to be recognized and remembered, and safe in Estrante. We also need a specialized team to recover the creatures that were released before they hurt someone or even themselves. Who knows what environments they are adapted for, what powers they have. It will be dangerous work. And he reaches up, looking for a hand on his shoulder as he says that.
I mean, Edwina's got a passive perception of 9.
So he just awkwardly, massages his own shoulder for just a
I
second.
can't help that.
Way to throw it back at the GM.
He finds Eldrin's hand on his shoulder.
Like from across the table.
This seems for the moment like more than I can handle, but I have come to realize that I never knew all of the great things my father did. I wanted to be like him, or strive to, that is, but I no longer want to try and be better than him. I want to follow his example and lead others to do so as well. And as he says that, he looks around this desk at Alondra, who nods, the conduit, who nods kind of as a bow, meets your gaze, Raceland, Eldrin, and then leans and again puts his hand up, waiting for a hand on his shoulder.
Edwina's going to put her hand on his lower back.
He'll pat his shoulder a couple times, then reach back and pat her hand on his lower back.
And she's going to kind of lean in like she's looking at the papers. And then turn and look at him. I will help you. In whatever capacity.
Thank you.
Eldrin will speak up. He said, if there's coin to be had, then I'd be interested, but we haven't even been paid for the last job, so there's no point risking my life for this, and I've got a large debt hanging over my head.
You hear a drawer open. He reaches in and pulls out a very heavily filled sack, leather sack, and just throws it across the desk, and it falls with a loud thud. Slides the drawer closed.
Now we're talking. Eldrin will pick it up and throw it in the haversack.
Raceland is going to look at him, at Lord Indario, that is, and then look at Edwina, and then look back at Lord Indario and say, I won't say any capacity, but I'm willing to help in some capacities, assuming that there will be some room and board and a doghouse involved.
Absolutely. I haven't had time to define all the details, but if you can stay to either travel with Alondra and the conduit, or if you wish to be on the specialized team to track and recover the creatures before, again, they hurt someone or themselves, they're not all suited to this environment. And they don't know why they are the way they are. I could use your help.
Now that you mention it, Alondra and the conduit, Ezra, may need someone to help keep them safe. I think that Kodo and I could do that.
Thank you. And at this moment, because we do a short adventure format, this is the end of this part of our adventure in Astrante. There's something bigger going on. Some creatures have been released. You need to know what's really going on in the region to make sure everyone is protected and accounted for. And Lord Indario has had a change of heart to strive to be a great man, to take care of his region and his people. So I will give everyone their own space to describe where they go forth in this moment in time.
Everyone gets 10 seconds. Go.
10.
But I wanted to leave the adventure somewhat open-ended because a while back, each of you at some point have mentioned something you really liked about this region or something that would be really cool if we went in a different direction than we were going. And with our short adventure format, we don't get to play in Astrante for 2 or 3 years. Unless you want to come back. So although it could be unsatisfying to not get to just stab something, get all the gold, and be done, this leaves the door open to maybe come back. And maybe it will be NatFun that asks to come back, or who knows? Maybe it will be our listeners on Patreon that ask to revisit Astrante. So, for now, what does the Ska Squad do?
Ska Squad. Well, Raceland is going to reach out a hand to the good hand of Eldrin and look down at the sack of gold there or sack of
Moolah.
dinero, and just kind of give him a grin and say, I hope it was worth it, man. I hope this has helped you with those debts that you mentioned.
It'll put a dent in it.
Well, if that only puts a dent in it, then it must be a really large debt.
I mean, I could always just kill those guys for you.
It's a little more complicated than that.
That's my specialty.
Then he's going to look over at Edwina and say, I do have something special for you. And he's going to reach into his backpack that has been subtly squirming, but with such a low passive perception, she probably didn't notice.
Never. Not once.
And he's going to pull out a little black puppy that looks shockingly like Kodo and say, look, train this guy well, and he will be the best companion you've ever had. Certainly better than this one-armed bandit.
Edwina's gonna take the puppy very gingerly, her face just aglow. Oh my god. It's so fluffy. I'm gonna die. And she's just gonna kiss it and like rub her face into it. And then she's gonna just like gently set it down. Princess, no. Friend, not food. And then she's gonna hug Raceland.
And as you look over toward Princess's bed, you notice that she's not there.
Well, that's fine. As long as she doesn't eat new Fluffy.
New Fluffy.
And Lord Indario leans over and says, Princess doesn't reside in the manor anymore. And he puts his hand down on the table, and you see kind of a really big version of your leather bracelet. Probably big enough to be strapped around someone's thigh.
Oh, yeah.
And he sighs. And he says, it makes me sad not to have her companionship. But one creature should never dictate the life of another. We are trying to find a way to destroy the band that connected her to me.
About that Faust blade could probably do it. It did a pretty good number on the dragon that we were up against.
But don't worry. I have a replacement. And he opens his desk and puts on a little bracelet with a bunch of little bells. And he holds it up and shakes his wrist. And you hear a bunch of teeny tiny little bells. And then from his personal quarters, like his personal office that you guys know is behind this room, you hear little bells jingling and teeny tiny claws scampering. Now I'm followed by a kinship of kittens, as like 15 kittens with bows and bells just come scampering up, meow, 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 from the back. And they all come running up to him and jumping up at his legs, and he has a little pouch on his belt with treats. And he just does, oh, for you, and for you, and for you. And he starts giving them all little treats.
New Fluffy will probably start barking.
Well, on that note, I will see you around, Lord Ondario, and I am gonna head out to grab a few things from a local merchant and get ready for this trip that I guess I'm taking with Elandra and Ezra. and kind of look down at Kodo and let's go, buddy.
Who wants to go next?
I mean, Eldrin will say, let me know when you have another job. I'll be around. I'll be down at the tavern. And he'll head out and go ahead and stop by Lala's and try to see if he's been able to get a price for those magic shoes. And he's going to go ahead and pull out that rod of healing or whatever that was that they had and see if he can't sell that thing since no one else seemed to ask about it. He's got it. So he's going to work on selling some wares and hang around the area and see if he can't, again, add a little coin to his pocket. But he'll stick around as long as there's money coming in, and he's quite interested in how generous Lord Indario is, and there may be an opportunity to get more out of him. So Eldrin will stick around, but he'll have one foot out the door. He's always ready to leave if something better comes along or he gets himself in too much trouble.
When you get to Lala's, you're able to ask for Velma. She does come out. Ah, darling. I was able to research those boots that you gave me, and I can't quite ascertain the particular enchantment, but I'm sure I can find someone who wants something unique and one of a kind. I'd be happy to offer you 20 gold pieces for them.
Perfect.
Is there anything else? Is that large woman going to come back, Edwina? I have those armbands she requested.
I assume she'll come by at some point when she remembers it.
Okay. Did you want to try and sell the staff?
Yeah, we'll pull out this staff of healing. You saw us with this earlier. We have no need for this. I'm wondering if you can put a price to this.
We'll use gear as standard, half value, but I'd be happy to offer you 7,000 gold pieces.
That'll do.
And
7,000
I
gold
must
pieces
ask,
is
darling.
half value.
Is your friend ever coming back for his equipment? He delivered on his offer to mention Lala's to Lord Indario, and I was going to waive his rental charges. Because I was partial to the plumage in his hat. Those pristine white feathers, darling. They're so hard to come by and always noticeable in a party. Oh well.
He's in the area. He's working on his own thing. Edwina is at some point supposed to go find him. There's a chance we'll see him when he works out whatever he's on to, but I don't know. I wasn't that close with the guy.
Okay, we'll come over here and settle up. And she gives you 7,020 gold pieces.
And Eldrin will try to keep a straight face as he takes the bag.
Make a performance check. Performance or persuasion, your choice. Depends on how you're feeling.
Oof. How is he feeling? He's had a good night's sleep. Things have turned into his favor quite well here. I'm gonna go with performance because I think it's more of an act that he's putting on that, he's not very excited about what just occurred. So that would be a 24, not with disadvantage anymore. I should take that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he actually nails it with a 24. That's impressive.
Absolutely
About
do.
time.
Yeah, that was a nat 20 on that one. Oh my god. How did I roll?
As you start to walk out, she goes, "You know what? I don't know what the boots do. Take another 100 gold pieces, darling."
It's definitely gonna be worth it to someone.
True, true.
Thanks so much. You've been very helpful, Velma. And he'll go ahead and head on out the door.
Never to be seen again.
All right, what about Edwina?
Edwina's gonna grab Francis's hand and kind of lead him out into the front of the Grand Manor, with new Fluffy kind of scampering by her feet.
And a kinship of kittens following.
And a kinship of kittens. A clouder of kittens, if you will. And she's going to kind of stand out in the courtyard, and she's going to hold both his hands in hers. I will always be part of your Ska Squad.
Ska Squad.
And she's going to kind of look down at her wrist and like hope that the leather band is glowing now. But there are 2 things I need to do before we can go after Rodney and help the villagers of Astrante. The first is I have a large debt to pay to Velma for my friend Roland, as well as some armbands that will no longer come in use. And I think I'd also like her to commission a new wardrobe for me. And she's gonna take 200 gold pieces from her pouch and kind of like put them in Francis's hand. But you can pick everything out for me.
Really?
Really. Just tell Velma.
Oh, that sounds divine.
Just tell Velma it's for Edwina. The second, I made a promise to a friend that I would help him no matter what. And I know he needs my help. And hopefully she's starting to hear like the wing beats of a griffin getting closer and closer.
Your wrist starts to feel warm.
Once I chase him down and help him, I promise, Francis, I will come find you. And then I won't let you go. And she's going to give him a kiss, scoop up a new Fluffy, and jump on the griffin's back and wave as the griffin flies away.
As you fly up, be still, my beating heart! I'll wait for you, Edwina!
I just gotta leave it at that.
I will throw a little side note in here. I did talk to Aaron. There is a game system that I heard about, which is 2 characters court each other, and depending on your roles and what happens, it's if the courtship is successful or if you break up. If the listeners would like to hear Lord Indario and Edwina play that game,
That would be great. That would be.
we're down
I
to
do.
try it. If you want to, I'll have to look up what the game is.
I think it was called Starcrossed.
Can Jeremy and I just sit here and
Yes.
and make comments the entire time?
The
Maybe.
Peanut Gallery. Full Mystery 3000.
Yeah.
Nickel! Another nickel! But the game is called Starcrossed, and Ginny D actually featured it on her YouTube channel. She did a great job. If you want to see the game, think about it. But yeah, drop us some comments on Patreon. If we get enough people that would like to hear that, that can be a Patreon exclusive, is the first date of Lord Indario and Edwina.
Somebody out there is going to be like, I'd rather hear Eldrin and Razor.
Episode 2. If we get enough.
But on that note, our adventure draws to a close for now in Astrante. Some problems are so big, so complicated, that just one person, or even one ska squad, can't solve it alone. You will need to rely on others, the friends and allies you've made while here in Astrante, to unravel the true intentions of the Order, and hopefully find a way to take the whole thing down. And it may be an unpopular opinion, but that sounds like an adventure for another day. So on that note, we are going to close this chapter of our adventure in Astrante and conclude when thunder rolls. Bookend. Chapter. Done.
Adios, suckers.
Yeah. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time.
Hey, everyone survived.
I just hope they all had
Surprisingly.
as much fun as we did.
And if you want to hear more behind the scenes and cool scoops and our takes on different things throughout this adventure, check us out on Patreon. We're going to be doing a wrap-up Q&A of this adventure, we've actually been writing questions that we kind of want to revisit and thoughts that people may have for each other or for the GM throughout this entire storyline. Check it out on Patreon. And until our next episode of NatFun,
We hope you can find yourself a table.
Or a computer.
And some friends.
so you can roll into your own NatFun.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Catch you next time for a new adventure.
Oh, man. You know what's going to happen is next time you see Eldrin, it's going to be like the Mandalorian that has all the fancy Beskar armor. Like, that's what you're going to see.
He just like went and upgraded it.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our adventure When Thunder Rolls. We had an absolute blast playing through this story and a lot of crazy moments that we didn't expect, but that's what happens at the table, right? If you want to support the show, a rating or review would really help us out. Or if you know someone who might enjoy NatFun, share it with them. Every listener counts. And as always, if you need more NatFun in your life, you can check us out on Patreon. We've got Session Zeros from the Focus player, Raceland, as well as the whole gang from this adventure, cutting room floor clips from many of our episodes, and pre-session warm-ups from our episodes too. And although this adventure may stop here, NatFun is just getting started. Join us next week for our first Hijinks episode as we play the one-page RPG Goat Crashers by Grant Howitt, as well as a fun shot and some solo games later this month, all before we step into our next adventure in another new game system. So stay tuned and come back every Tuesday for more NatFun. Oh, and if you want to get a little taste of what hijinks we're going to be getting up to next week in Goat Crashers, check this out.
Have you ever wondered what three goats would do at a college party? No, of course not. Me either. But now that you're thinking about it, what would three goats do at a college party? Will the other people at the party notice, or will they keep their cover? Is there an international crime syndicate crashing the same party? Well, that all depends on a few rolls of the dice. Join us as NatFun tries out Goat Crashers, the one-page RPG by Grant Howitt, in our fun shot, Goating the Distance. Coming soon on your favorite podcast listening network.